is up, my Shadowverse soldiers, and welcome back to another Shadowverse Evolve video. Alright soldiers, in today's video we're going to be talking about the English conference that happened at World's Finals, and they had a whole bunch of announcements for us for Shadowverse Evolve, so if you managed to miss that this past Friday, then don't worry, I got you covered. We will be going over everything that they talked about in the last one. And of course, before we get into it, I do want to give everyone a reminder that we are starting to run out of time for the votes. So if you haven't casted your vote yet, go ahead and do it. You have until May 11th at 3:59 Pacific time. So that's 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time if you're on my time. But you have a little bit of time left to vote for your favorite characters. Or if you don't keep updated with the special vote campaign, then I got you covered here too. Sarah Joanne is in the lead right now, so all you RuneCraft enjoyers, especially me included, we are definitely winning in terms of our special vote being going on. So Sarah Joanne's in the lead, and she's going to be in the works of getting the new SP card or the new special card, whatever they're going to be doing with it. I think it's a new SP card. But there's going to be a new version of Sarah Joanne, which I'm very excited for. So if you want your character to win, I suggest you put in those votes as soon as possible. Alright, so the date is slowly creeping up on us where we have our Glory Finder starter decks coming out. So with the release of those starter decks, they're going to be hosting a starter deck release party. So if you choose either the Luxheart Legends or the Treacherous Ambitions, you'll be getting one of these flares in the Bushy Navi app. But one of the lucky winners will be put into a drawn, and you will be able to get a playmat at the release party. And it says that there's going to be 10 winners after the event period to be getting one of these mini Standees. I don't know how big they are. I don't know if they're going to be like wall scrolls or anything like that. But if you're a huge Shadowverse Evolver, like I am personally, then you can get one of these if you're one of the 10 winners. I don't know if it's like the 10 winners of the whole release party event, or 10 winners after the starter deck release party is over, and then they just pick 10 people. I don't really know how exactly it's going to work. Definitely go to your shop and ask questions if you really want the mini standee, or see if you can trade with anyone if they don't really want it. Stuff like that. If you're interested in stuff like that, then, of course, ask questions. But if you're really interested in this stuff, I think this is cool that they're doing this. And if you are bad with dates just like I am, these decks will be available July 25th. Definitely look at the Bushy Navi app if you have any questions towards like the release party and where the release parties are going to be. I'd say look up your local shop that is hosting Shadowverse Evolve, or where you usually go to play Shadowverse Evolve. And if you don't, I'm very sorry. Then, you might have to make a trek like I usually have to. But look at the Bushy Navi app and see what's around you, see what's near you. If they're having a release party, then, go to that, participate in it if you want the flares and everything. Alright, and with the new recent news, we have Bullet of Fate finally announced for a date. We have September 26th to look forward to for our 11th booster set of Shadowverse Evolve. Alright, so it looks like we're going to be opening up our path to victory with this new booster set. So, set 11 is going to consist of the new legendary for Forestcraft Loxus, and the new legendary for Dragoncraft Reggie. I think Loxus is a cowboy while Reggie is an engineer. Not 100% sure how the story is going to go. It's something of an idea to think about for a future video, of course, but I'm not going to worry about that too much since we're talking about the spring conference. But for any of these Shadowverse Evolve players that know about Shadowverse, it really just kind of goes off of the story from there. And we have our sets here, so looks like it's going to be cowboys versus engineers. Alright, and with this set, we're going to be getting new special rarity cards. So we have the Dark Dragoon Forte SP that's going to be coming out there too. And then we have the Nanot Cursed Queen, which is going to be the new Swordcraft Legendary, but also having the new special rarity card, which is going to be awesome for that set too. So look forward to that. Also, if you're going to be buying booster boxes, look forward to these exclusive card sleeves you're going to be getting per box. I don't know the name of these characters. I think it's Fenny and like Miser and Selena. I think those are like the characters' names. I'm not 100% sure. I'm new to the Shadowverse realm, just like all of you, getting into Evolve and whatnot. But getting these sleeves is pretty cool. So if you're looking forward to having some extra sleeves and some decent, Bushiroad art, then, look forward to that. Alright, so here is my personal favorite announcement that they gave out. So we're going to be getting a new SL card frame. Yes, you heard me right. So the SLs were pretty nice, being in a little rainbow colored and everything, but having a frame is going to change it up a little bit more. I don't think it's going to make the cards even more expensive or anything. I don't think that matters too much, but I like how this would look in a sleeve for sure. Especially those card sleeves and outer sleeves where you just have like the ring around it. Like, they look like outer sleeves, but just on the card itself. So I'm going to be very excited to looking forward to this. I'm not a huge SL finder. I don't really go out and search for SLs and, higher rarity stuff. If a card looks good, I'll definitely like buy one copy of it, put it in my binder. It's a trophy. That's kind of how I treat, you know, URs and stuff. But I'm very excited that they're adding the new card frame. Alright, so the next news, we finally have our Seedside Memory Set confirmed. I know during set 4, set 3, whenever we first saw this happen in JP, this was interesting. I was like, oh man, I'm ready to look forward to these Seaside things. But I think the reality is going to hit us here. The question does arise. Are these cards going to get censored? Because I looked at these cards on the JP website or the, you know, the TCG Republic website where you can look at all the Japanese versions of the cards, and I was just like, whoa, like I don't know what they're going to do. Like, I'm super scared that they're going to nerf a whole bunch of these pictures. I just want them to look good. As long as they look good, then I might pick them up and have like an alternate version for the cards and everything. And I know there's going to be a couple old cards that are just reprinted in a different art, and then there's going to be a couple new cards. So not really 100% sure on how the set's going to go, but I just hope the censorship on it isn't going to be too crazy. But it does look like there are going to be new cards. I don't know if these cards are going to be exclusive outside of what we didn't see in JP, but I am glad that we're going to be getting... This is going to be a special set, so of course we're going to have the reprint of cards, but having a couple of new cards that'll help out some decks will be pretty cool. But with future information that we do have, I'm a little scared of like being in October. I'm very scared of how it's going to go because the next 2 months after this set is going to be like the craziest Shadowverse Evolve has ever been. Alright, so like I said before, yes, the cards are getting reprinted in a way, like they're going to have the new art. These are kind of characters are going to be hitting the beach. This is what they look like when they're at like the festival, like Orcus is, and then Galmeo on the beach too. So if you're looking forward to these characters, of course, in the future we'll be going over every single card that's going to get reprinted and, you know, the new art and everything like that. But look forward to that if you're looking forward to the Seaside Memory Set. Alright, so let's talk about what everybody has been talking about the entire weekend, is this release schedule. Alright, so we got a bit of a taste of it, of them combining sets in set 9, or I guess not really combining sets, but adding cards that were supposed to be in a future set into set 9. And there were some complications. Definitely, I had some insider information that people were having a hard time pulling things. So starting in November, things are going to get very wonky. So if you can see here, starting in November, we're going to be getting combined sets. So we're going to get the World Reaver's Descent and the Dominion of Darkness sets combined together. And then right after that, we have the Uma Pretty Derby set right after it. So what that means is we're definitely going to be catching up to JP. We're going to have a different meta, which is very nice, but there are also downsides to this. So the one thing that I kept hearing over and over again when I heard people wanting to get stuff for their sets or to play the decks in Dragonic Duelist and Academics was that people could not pull the ratios for stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure all around in the shops, people were just asking if they had Dragonic Duelist stuff or Academic stuff. It wasn't really any of the stuff that was already in the set because that was already projected. It looks like they ran short of like the pull rates there for those cards, so you have to definitely outsource to get the rest of the stuff. So hopefully come November, there'll be like some really good pull rates, because if we're gonna have combined sets with crap pull rates, this game is going down the chute very fast. Alright, and then there's the last point of the money situation. So the one thing I always promoted about this game was that it was very affordable. You didn't have to put a huge sink in. No deck here really cost like $1,000 to be super competitive. It was like a quick, oh okay, I can spend $250, I have the best deck in the format, I can play it. If I want to get really good with it, I can just learn the matchups, that's all I need to do, and then, you know, tweak it how I need to. So, you know, there wasn't really a huge money sink, but if we're going to be getting sets combined, then we're definitely going to have to sink some more money into the game. As you can see, there really isn't a break here, because starting in October, we're going to have Seaside Memories. November, we're going to have combined sets. Then right after that, we're going to have the Uma set in December. So, you know, there's just like a month, every month is like a money sink there. And then people are definitely saying, well, you know, if Uma's coming out in December, what's the point of getting cards in November because Uma's going to be taking over X, Y, and Z? Or, you know, there's going to be a deck that's in, you know, Dominion of Darkness, and why should I have to invest in World Reaver's Descent? Or why would I even worry about Uma if it's coming out in the future, you know? Stuff like that. So it is good that we are going to be getting a break come 2026, but it's definitely going to be a buck ride. It's definitely going to be a rodeo. Only the realist will stay, and that's real. I can respect that because right now, catching up to JP is going to mean some madness. Like, we're going to have the Seaside Memories. There's going to be like a little bit of a Seaside Memories meta if there are competitive events around that time. And then, November, December, you have to really watch out for what events you go to because you have to make sure you have the competitive schedule like locked down, and you have to know, all right, so this is when Pretty Derby is going to be out. Pretty Derby's out, I can rock this for competitive events. So that was most of the talk on competitive talk, but if you're really casual, you don't really have to worry too much. You can pick up the decks that you want to, keep playing with your friends, or if you're really just locals level, I think I think still even being at locals level is still going to be a little weird for you because everyone's going to be rocking these new decks, and now no one's really going to know what these different decks are going to do because now with the combining of sets, we're going to have to choose which is the stronger deck. So Evolve wise, or Shadowverse English Evolve wise, I think this is very interesting to look at just on a deck building level, because now we have these sets combined. People are going to be theory crafting very hard. So I think this will be a huge boom in terms of like content creation, like, having these decks out, the different combinations that you can make. Hopefully everyone will be able to share their flares and everything, being able to rock their own styles. There will definitely be a decrease in like maybe net decking. I know that's always been a thing for us. It's just you look up the deck, how it looks, you build it, and then you play it. There weren't really that many cards you would change in it, so starting in November, things are going to look very different. So yeah, starting in September, we're going to be getting a set every month. So be prepared for that. Prepare your wallets if you want to stay around. And if you don't, then, feel free to stop playing the game, take a break. 2026 is right around the corner at that point. So, just slow down. All right, so they did give us a little bit of information for our BCS 2025-2026 series. So it looks like it's going to start with shop challenges in September, and then we're going to have a regional qualifier in October. Do remember that they did say that the grand showdowns are all going to be happening simultaneously at the same time, so do remember that. Alright, so for the shop challenge, participation will go as people getting a monthly tournament pack, and with the champion you will be getting the Orisa Evolution point card. I'm not really a huge fan on the Evolution point cards unless it's any of the ambassadors, and personally, I love our English ambassadors, but I really low-key want the Japanese ones because they do look cool. So if you're looking out for these things, I suggest you try your best at your hand at winning during the 2025-2026 Shop Challenge season. I know you have it in you to win it, so try your best. Alrighty, and lastly, if you are a judge watching the channel, 1, I appreciate you for being a judge, and 2, I appreciate you for watching the channel. Thank you so much. So, you have a chance at getting these playmats for being a judge. I'm not sure if you have to be a judge for each respective game. I would be really cool if you could be a Shadowverse Evolve judge and get the White Schwartz mat, because the White Schwartz mats I think this White Schwartz one looks the best one out of all of them, personally to me. But if you're a judge, you have an opportunity to at least redeem your 25,000 points to get one of these playmats, and you have to make sure you have to at least judge one event from Bushy-Road Summerfest. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm low-key kind of glazing the White Schwartz one, though. That one looks like the best out of all of them, but if they're doing the respective games, it's nice that they're doing something for the judges instead of giving them like promo cards that we're all getting to. They finally get their own exclusive playmats for being judges, because judges are awesome. And alright, soldiers, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. World's Finals was amazing, I will say. Of course, there were things that could be improved on. I enjoyed watching it the whole time. Like I said, I enjoyed watching it the whole time because everyone that was there that was watching, we already started late here in the States, and the event went on until 5 in the morning, and I have not recovered personally, so I'm sorry if my content is a little slow. I'm at home and I'm jet lagged, so that means a lot. I really enjoyed watching it though. I'm glad the decks that I kind of liked were represented there. Rip to the Haven players though, because there was no representation of Haven on stream or even in Top Cut. So hopefully Haven will have its turn in the light in the future sets and future competitions and stuff like that, and so forth. But alrighty, soldiers, thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to me that you're watching these videos and being on the channel. If you haven't subscribed, I highly suggest that you do that. It helps me a lot. And if you haven't and you don't want to, then, feel free to keep watching the content. I still love you all the same. Alright, soldiers, make sure you are safe in whatever you do tonight and safe whatever you do for the rest of the year. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Yeah. TRINN. Just to get you